Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Whoa. It's been a while since I've pulled out the YouTube voice. I'm sure other content creators out there can attest to this, you gotta talk different when you sit down for the camera. Project your voice, make sure the camera picks it up. You gotta put on your internet persona. But honestly, I think that's the same way with a lot of things. I do talk differently depending on where I'm at. For example, I'm working in the woods again, and after spending months and months, school and stuff, talking about very professional, very elegant things. Oh, we analyzed a sample of theolitic basalt. We did a whole rock isotope analysis on this piece of theolitic basalt, and blah blah blah. Today at work, this is a word I said, or this is a sentence I said. Wow. These roads done got washed and run pretty good, didn't they? What the ever-living does that even mean? I want you to guess. Translate that for yourself, will you? I'll give you a couple seconds. You good? It means the roads got wet and someone drove through them and left ruts in the road. But instead of saying, oh look, these roads have ruts in them, I don't know. Once a redneck, always a redneck, I guess. Anyways, that is getting way off topic. I'm back from field camp. And today, I thought I'd make a video because I need to make content ASAP, get some things scheduled for you guys. Today, I thought I'd make a video talking about the gear and stuff that I used while I was gone. I think this is appropriate. This is a gear review channel. This is a good topic to kind of go over. So before we do that, what is geology field camp? It sounds like something you take your kids to, for a week in the summer, right? But what it is actually kind of a capstone course for all geologists, kind of a rite of passage, if you will. It's a course that I'm taking as part of my degree, and basically you go out and you're camping for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you're mapping. You're trying to integrate all the knowledge you've learned so far in your geology education. You're incorporating mineralogy, stratigraphy, sedimentology, igneous petrology. You're incorporating, all the theories and principles that you've learned, and now you're seeing them out in the wild with some real rocks, and making maps basically, and analyzing different geologic features of different areas. So it's a lot of fun. I am basically at the end of my education as a geologist. Well, this part of it. I am doing other things, research and minoring in biology, which I must just be a glutton for punishment because I just added more time to my sentence. But you know what? I love what I do, right? So we're going to go ahead and talk about everything I took with me, and how it performed, why I took it, and whether I used it or not. So, since this is a knife channel, let's go ahead and start with the knife stuff. And let's go ahead and talk about fixed blades first, because I took two fixed blades with me, kind of on accident, but they both did really, really well. So the first one is my Gerber Strong Arm, and you can see this knife. Yeah, it's been beat to heck. Review coming hopefully soon. I've been working on it. We'll get it done. Something else I want to point out is, I've been out in the field for, a long time, not just with field camp, but I'm also a research assistant to one of my friends who's working on his master's thesis. And so I've been out in the field with him before field camp too. So I've been in the field a lot. And even months and months ago, when I'd go out and do field work, back when it was just weekend things and things like that, I kind of decided that this was going to be my dedicated field fixed blade. And it has done very, very well in that task. I've used the crap out of it, as you can see. I really like the Gerber flat iron here. It's the Gerber Strong Arm. Strong Arm. Where did flat iron come from? I'm an idiot. But I really like this knife. Well, you'll see when we get to the review. There's some quirks with it. There's some things I definitely don't like, but I can't argue with the fact that it has held up really, really well. So there we go. I carried it scout style on my back. That worked really well. I found for, you know, keeping it kind of out of my way while I'm doing other things. And yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. The other fixed blade that I carried kind of towards the last week and a half, because it was just in my truck and I decided to grab it, is the Cold Steel SRK. And you guys knew this was coming, right? You knew it. If you guys have been around the channel for any amount of time, you knew this knife was going to make an appearance. And yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, I love this knife. It did just as well at field camp as I was expecting. You know, it's a beast. So both those knives I ended up using for a lot of things. And one of the things I used them for was woodworking. I split and chopped a lot of wood with both of those knives because somehow we ended up without a hatchet or an axe between any of us in the entire group. So that was our first little bit out. We got back to town one time for like 36 hours, even less. And one of the things I did was I went to my truck and I got out this thing that I bought a while ago and just left in my truck. I figured this would be a good time to test it. And it is the Camillus... Crap. I can't remember the name of this thing. I will write it on the screen. And so I took this out and started using this, you know, to do a lot of our wood prep stuff with for building fires and things like that. And I've got mixed feelings about it. Be honest with you, it's kind of a tactical hatchet more than a woodworking or more than a woodsman hatchet. It worked, right? It worked fine. I do like the sheath thing that they have here. Snaps in really nice. Got this belt loop that was really easy to put on and off of my pants. And then it also has in the handle a saw. Tools like this, combo tools, are not typically my favorite thing ever. And that holds true here. The saw worked okay on some things, and it worked terribly on other things. If my buddy Thomas was here, he could probably help elaborate on that. But yeah, he and I used this and stuff to break down a lot of wood. We started a lot of fires, and yeah, it was fun. So, you know, not my favorite thing, but it worked. I can't really complain, right? So, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and transition into our folding knives. And the folding knives that I took kind of surprised me. I didn't expect to take what I did. I feel like I kind of... Honestly, I feel like I kind of ran off half-baked. So I moved out of my apartment a week before I was going to go out in the field with the field research. And then I was going to do that for a little bit and then go on field camp and things like that. And so I moved a lot of my stuff from my previous apartment to, you know, the other place. And when I was packing up my gear for field camp, I meant to grab my Cold Steel Code 4 or my American Lawman, which I thought I had in a Civivi pouch, which I grabbed, threw in my bag, and just ran off, you know, didn't really think twice. The knife that was actually in there was the Tucson TS338. And honestly, that was okay, right? I'd actually just put a fresh edge on this. Carrying it around in my pocket wasn't a huge deal. We'll talk more about like carrying stuff like this. It's a good knife. It's a really good knife. I use this quite a bit. A lot of things that I did with my pocket knives were food prep related. In fact, one of the first days we were out, we're making some sandwiches. We got these tomatoes, and someone had brought like some kitchen knives that were, you know, dull. And so I was able to, you know, I basically cut up all the food and stuff since I had sharp knives. And then I sharpened the other knives and stuff like that. But yeah, so this was not a knife that I intended to have with me, but it ended up with me, and honestly, it did just fine. It did just fine, and yeah, it worked out. Okay, next, let's talk about this knife. I took my Cold Steel 8015 Light, and I carried it one day. You guys know I love the 8015 platform. I love it. I love it. This is like the full 80, not the full custom, but the Cold Steel 8015 is probably my favorite pocket knife ever. I love that knife. I love these things when I'm out in the woods. They're just amazing, reliable beasts. When I was out mapping, I'm hiking around and it's hot, I'm sweating, I rusted the crap out of this blade. I cleaned up most of it. There's still, now you can still see a little bit. Let's see there. If it'll focus up. Don't focus on my face, camera. I know I'm beautiful. You can see there's still a little bit of rust on there. And it was also just a little bit clunky. Let's go ahead and talk about actually the clothes I wore. I'm wearing basically what I wore out in the field. Light, breathable shirt. You know, you want a light jacket too that you can put on over it if, you know, things get hot and stuff. And then these Columbia pants, which, yes, this is not the belt I had, but they're nice. Let's go ahead and tilt down a little bit, I guess. They're nice. They unzip here, become shorts. They're very lightweight. They're really good for, you know, just hiking around in hot weather. 8015 just did not work in the pockets. These things, they have, these were expensive pants too. They've got this kind of mesh in the pockets, and it was just not working with this thing. And so I carried it that one day, used it a little bit, and I was done. It went back in my bag, and I didn't take it out again. Moving on, another Cold Steel. This is the Engage. Used this knife a lot, the Mini Engage. Love this knife. This was fantastic. I, you know, kept this with me, just kind of as a backup knife. And yeah, got a lot of use. This thing continues to be great. So I don't really have a whole lot of complaints with that guy. One knife that I carried a lot during my research assistant job, the CJRB Pyrite. I don't know why I decided to take this knife, but I did, and it worked great, right? The Pyrite is a great knife. It worked fantastically. I did rust the scales. I did rust the blade just a tiny bit. I do need to clean this up a little bit more. All my stuff's still dirty. But it worked out really, really well, and I liked it. It was it's a good knife. You guys know the Pyrite. It's awesome. Next up is a knife that I accidentally took. And I used it a little bit, and it worked fine, but it was not a knife that I planned on having out there. The Civivi Platheros. This is not a very field knifey knife, but I had it, and there it was. I will say I felt really weird, you know, as a knife guy running off to field camp kind of half-cocked. I mean, I had excellent fixed blades and stuff, and yeah, the pocket knives I took worked fine. They were great and things, but yeah, I just felt like I didn't have exactly what I needed, and I might make a video about that, because I did realize what I needed. And the last knife is my Sencut Tainan, which I couldn't find. And that's kind of worrying me because I love that little knife so much. As you guys will see, I've made tons of shorts with that knife that are scheduled to come out in the upcoming weeks. Love the Sencut Tainan. It was an excellent knife, enough weight to be, you know, good in the hand, but it's slim and compact, went in my pocket really nicely, wasn't in the way at all. I loved it. Very, very good knife. And yeah, fingers crossed, I hope I find it soon, right? Kind of freaking out about that. But there's all the knives. Next thing that we should probably talk about, since it's related, is sharpeners. Oh, and also, I did take my my Victorinox Soldier, but I also did not grab it. It's on my shelf. Should have grabbed that. But and then I had my classic Leatherman in my bag. This is a great knife. You know, Swiss Army knife and a multi-tool. They come in handy so much. Use this for all kinds of stuff. So, really, really good deal. Okay. And then sharpeners. And do I have them in here? I thought I did. I've got one. Do I have the other? No. Wow, talking about not preparing for a video. Oh no, I got it. I knew I had it. So, my classic field sharpener, I love this thing. This goes with me in my backpack everywhere. This is an amazing sharpener. The Worksharp Field Sharpener, I think is what it's called. Wonderful, wonderful sharpener. This will keep your knives in great shape, no matter what you're doing. Love this. I also had this little Smith's diamond rod with me, and throughout field camp, I was sharpening everyone's knives. My fellow classmates, professors, everyone. I sharpened everyone's knives. It was great. You know, getting everyone a nice sharp knife in their pocket makes me feel good. They're going to be taken care of. Good deal, right? Okay. So, we've got that stuff out of the way. I think now we'll talk a little bit about just general gear and stuff. I'm not going to talk about like my backpack or my I'm not going to talk about my tent or my sleeping bag. I have a one-man hiking backpacking tent from Ozark Trail. It works just fine. It's good. My backpack my sleeping bag is also just an Ozark Trail. I think it's nothing fancy, but it works, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about geology gear. So, my hammer is this S-Wing 2.5 pound sledge. I did not bother with a soft rock hammer. I went, just with a big one. This will get everything done. 2.5 pounds is the ideal weight, according to a lot of people. I tend to agree. It's light enough that you can, hike it miles and miles into the backcountry without too much trouble, but also heavy and solid enough to be able to crack some pretty big rocks. So, pretty good hammer. Used it a lot. I like it. Next up, let's talk about, just reach into my backpack, pull out things I have. Let's talk about my backpack, actually. So here's my backpack, Camelback, because, obviously you want to keep very hydrated. 92 ounces in here, some good amount of water. In my backpack, I always made sure to have extra pencils and lead. Speaking of pencils, these are my preferred style of pencils, these Papermate Clear Points. However, when I went to buy them, all I could find, or the ones I grabbed at least, were 0.5. 0.5 is great if you're doing art. It's not great for mapping. 0.7 works really good. 0.9 is even better because it's nice and dark and thick. You can see what you're doing on your rough draft. So we have that. Again, extra lead, extra erasers, always good to have around. I always keep an extra little flashlight in here. Speaking of flashlights, the flashlight I carried in the field, of course, is my Olight Arcfeld. Love this thing. This is a great light. I do have a review of it that you can check out. Emergency poncho, good to have in case things get a little bit wet. Ibuprofen, good to have. Fireproof matches with striker, gotta have to make a fire. You're gonna want to do it right. Oh wow, lovely. There is an old melted granola bar. Other stuff in the backpack includes, I took them out already, paracord, which I need to rewrap. I always like to keep a fresh roll of paracord with me because paracord is just so useful, but not as useful as my next item, duct tape. Or in my case, T-Rex tape because, yes, nerd. But also, I just really like this stuff. This is really strong. This is great tape. I use tape for all kinds of things out in the field. You can ask all my friends. If you need tape, come to Gideon. He's got the tape. This is great for if you get in a cactus. You pull out the big spines. You've got the little tiny, almost hair-like one still in you. Take a piece of tape, rip it out, put it on there. You'll get them out, right? Did that a lot. A couple people's tents blew over and broke. Tent stakes broke. You're able to kind of, sort of, be able to patch them up and, get them through the night. Tape is just great to have. As you can see here, this roll is almost done. I'm going to have to buy another one, but I never go anywhere without my T-Rex tape. It's a lifesaver for sure. Another thing that I love this stuff for is if you're injured, tape will help you make an excellent splint. If you really need to, you could even help use it to help patch up a wound. Put some gauze or something in a wound, wrap that with tape. If you've got something on your arm, put that there, wrap it with tape, and it'll keep it nice and tight. Just amazing. I mean, everyone knows it's good stuff. You don't need me to sit here and preach to you. Next, I keep this little personalized first aid kit that has Band-Aids, some gauze, some alcohol wipes, a card that has my personal information on it. I keep that, and then I also keep a big first aid kit with my tent, and then I take this first aid kit out with me in the field. And this is kind of what I use to, fix up everyone else around me. This is a good little kit. This Lifeline, I bought this and it didn't have everything I needed in it, and so I've been adding my own things to it. But it's a nice little case. One of the things I add to it is a snake bite kit. You don't want to be needing this and not have it. So there we go. Some good scissors in here. I also put, and this is, just my dad's a veterinarian, so for some reason I love tweezers and stuff. So I always keep a set of tweezers in here, like a lot of different types of tweezers, just because I've noticed that there's some things that you just need specialized tools for, right? And also the tweezers that this set came with suck. I still have them in here for some reason. These are them. No, like I said, I mostly bought this kit for the package because it's a nice compact package. You can get a lot in here. You can attach it to your gear. As you saw, I have it attached to the front of my backpack. I just love it. I think it's really good. So that's where I keep a lot of my more heavy duty first aid stuff. Other things you should need, like sunscreen, all the essentials. I'm not going to go over all of that stuff. A geologist's favorite tool, the Brunton compass. Use this a lot. This is a necessity for any geologist. I am working on editing a video that I've been mentioning it for months, promising it to you guys. Talking about some geology tools, how to use them, why we use them, things like that. And yes, Brunton compass is on that list. That video is mostly all filmed. I just need to edit it together, really, and stitch. Yeah, it's like months worth of footage to put together. So it's going to be a long video, but hopefully it'll be an enjoyable one. So there we go, Brunton compass. Great thing to have. This one is actually not mine. This is on loan. I need to get a good one for myself. Other things. Rulers are amazing. These are great to have out in the field. Love them. This one was given to me by Old Tonto Guy. Thank you. Love this ruler, that metal one. I prefer the metal rulers. They just hold up better. And a geologist's best friend, their field notebook. This is the Write in the Rain Geologist Field Book. I am going to do I think I'm going to do a review on this, but I just love this book. You've got plenty of room for all your notes, and those are drawings and stuff. Take stock of important information. Write down all your thoughts and stuff. And this one in particular has lots of handy things in the back. Just all kinds of things that come in handy for a geologist. So good stuff there. And yeah, other than that, other gear that I had around, protractors, markers, things like that for drafting our maps. Colored pencils, are all good to have. I did bring these out here. Last piece of gear I'm going to talk about. These are the boots I wore. So I had a really good pair of hiking boots, but there was an issue with them that I didn't catch until I was getting ready to go out in the field. And so I had to go and buy some new boots, and I really didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. So I bought these boots. These are by a brand called Tamarack. And I thought they were kind of goofy at first, but they were the cheapest boots I could find that I thought were still good. These were $80. And I felt bad because I was like, you don't want to be cutting corners on your footwear, right? That's not a good idea. You need your feet to be in good shape. And I was a little bit worried about them. They did all right. They really did all right. The camo, I was kind of like, but they did fine. I thought they were going to be too hot and not let my feet breathe. I felt like I was fine. They held up decently well. I can see there's been some wear on the soles. Gosh, limestone just chews up boots. It really does. But they did fine. They did really fine. The traction was good on them. I was able to crawl and scramble and jump from rock to rock. All I wanted to. It worked out just fine. So, I guess I lucked out on those. And if you're looking for cheap hiking boots or cheap work boots that are going to be half decent, maybe give Tamarack a try. This was my first experience with them, and I was decently pleased. So, there we go. That's going to be it today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back up north. It's good to be able to make content for you guys again. There for a while, I do miss it. I do miss making content, and yeah, field camp was great. I enjoyed what I did there. Wouldn't have wanted it any other way. But it's also good to, get back to this kind of stuff. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Gideon. If you like this video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Adios.